Nancy Drew, a blonde girl of 16, leaned forward in the seat of her trim blue roadster. Her eyes were fixed on the winding road ahead, but her mind was miles away. She was thinking of the Crowley estate and the strange dark rumors swirling through River Heights. Suddenly, a heavy silver sedan lurched out of a side road. Nancy slammed on her brakes, the scent of burning rubber filling the air. The silver car did not stop. It sped away, nearly hitting a small child on the sidewalk. Nancy's grip tightened on the steering wheel. That reckless driver, he didn't even look back. Nancy leaped from her car. "Wait!" she cried. The little girl, Judy Turner, had stumbled near the edge of the bridge. Nancy scrambled down the embankment, her heart hammering against her ribs. She reached out, just in time. "It's all right, honey," Nancy whispered, pulling the trembling child close. "You're safe now. I've got you." Inside the Turner farmhouse, the air smelled of cinnamon and old dusty paper. The Turner sisters spoke in hushed, low tones about Josiah Crowley. "But the new will," they whispered, "leaves everything to the Tophams." Nancy looked at the old family clock on the mantel. The Tophams, the very people in that silver sedan. The mystery had finally found her. The Turner cottage was small, neat, and smelled faintly of lavender and freshly baked bread. The two sisters, Miss Elizabeth and Miss Rose, hovered over little Judy with trembling hands. "Oh, Nancy," they cried, "how can we ever thank you?" Nancy smiled, though her heart ached at the sight of their frayed sleeves and the worn-out rugs. These were the people Josiah Crowley had loved, and yet they had been left with nothing. Nancy leaned forward, her voice soft. "The silver car," she began, "the one that nearly hit Judy. Do you know who owns it?" Miss Rose sighed, a sound like dry leaves skittering on a porch. "The Tophams," she whispered. "Richard Topham, the man who inherited everything. He has no patience for us or for Josiah's old friends." "It doesn't make sense," Nancy said, more to herself than to the sisters. "Mr. Crowley told my father, Carson Drew, that he was making a new will. One that would care for you and others." She looked toward the window, watching the shadows lengthen on the lawn. "Where is it? Where did he hide it?" Nancy stood up, her jaw set in a firm, determined line. "I'm going to find that will," she declared. The sisters gasped, but Nancy was already reaching for her coat. A rich man's greed, a hidden paper, and a silver car that fled the scene. The pieces were there. Now she just had to fit them together. Back at home, in the quiet comfort of her father's study, Nancy shared the story of the Turner sisters. Her father, Carson Drew, leaned back in his leather chair, his eyes narrowing behind his glasses. "The Tophams are cold, calculating people, Nancy," he warned. "If there is a second will, they will hide it at any cost." Nancy looked at the fireplace, watching the embers glow. "If it exists, Father, I will find it. For the Turners. For justice." The next morning was gray and overcast. The blue roadster felt small as it approached the iron gates of the Topham estate. The mansion loomed like a stone monster against the sky. Nancy felt a chill that had nothing to do with the wind. This was a house of secrets. A house where Josiah Crowley had died alone, surrounded by cousins who only wanted his gold. She straightened her hat, gripped the steering wheel, and drove inside. Inside, the air was heavy with perfume. The Topham sisters, Isabel and Flora, sat like peacocks in the parlor. They didn't offer Nancy tea. They only offered cold stares. "We are busy, Miss Drew," Flora snapped, adjusting her pearls. "The estate is settled. There is nothing for you here." Nancy noticed how Flora's hand shook as she spoke. They weren't just mean. They were afraid. As Nancy turned to leave, she caught a glint of gold near the base of a massive grandfather clock. She dropped her glove, a practiced move, and as she bent down, her fingers closed around a tiny brass key. It was warm, as if someone had just been holding it. She tucked it into her palm and walked out,